Ever notice how the most successful people radiate this incredible confidence? That's the magic of mindset mastery. It's like having your own superpower, shaping your thoughts to create your world. It's not just positive thinking, it's actually a way of life. And you know those days when you wake up feeling like you can take on the world? That's the power of a killer morning routine. Daily habits aren't just chores, they are secret weapons. They set the stage for your triumphs, turning just another day into your field of success. Welcome to All Things Millennial. I'm your host Sujal, and every week we will be talking to fellow millennials, diving deep into the topics that truly resonate with the most of us. Today's episode is about mindset mastery. Gaining control over your mind in order to achieve your goals, incorporating key daily habits into your routine, dealing with setbacks while doing so, and everything in between. Our guest for today is committed to self-improvement, and that is reflected in his own lifestyle. He consistently strives to set a positive example, leading a life that is both balanced and rewarding. His ultimate goal is to motivate and empower individuals to realize their fullest potential. Through a combination of online coaching and a passion for personal development, he is significantly influencing the lives of others. By assisting his clients in overcoming self-imposed limitations, he is dedicated in helping individuals to embrace lives filled with fulfillment and success. He is an online life/transformation coach and has a deep understanding when it comes to mastering the mindset. So guys, join me in welcoming Keane Yu. Thank you so much, Keane, for joining us today. I'm very excited to have you on the show. So to begin with, I wanted you to quickly give us your background and share a few things about yourself and your journey.
Yeah, so my name is Keane Yu, and I am based out of Vancouver, Canada. And I am a transformational and mindset coach. So more simply put, a life coach. And what I do is I help people on the journey of personal development. I teach them how to heal themselves and get them right mentally and physically. So a lot of what I do is around the mindset, nutrition, and training. And I create programs for my clients, and we get them right mentally and physically and become their best and highest self.
Okay. That's wonderful. I'm sure your expertise will be very helpful for all our listeners. So what made you get into this? What made you, is there a personal story about what made you shift your mindset so that, if you had to overcome a challenge to achieve a goal?
Yeah, so growing up, I wouldn't say I had a very, very tough childhood. I have a great family. I had a lot of love in the family, and my parents took amazing care of me. But I was always put into competitive scenarios. So I was always playing sports in my early age. I think from the sports, it allowed me to kind of develop a mindset of continuous growth and always trying to be better. And it put me in a very, very competitive state, which as I'm older now, I don't think competition is a great thing. But just kind of overcoming the challenges of an athlete, we develop a mindset of wanting to be better and always compare ourselves to others. But throughout my journey, I've always been fascinated about personal development and always been interested in learning more about growing. So when I first started my personal development journey, I thought it was just reading a book and like reading a self-help book and saying that I was very into personal development. But it wasn't until I realized that personal development is taking care of the mind, body, and soul, was how I was able to fully realize that that's what the personal development journey is all about. And as I got into the best shape of my life, I was finally confident to help other people do the same. So that's kind of what led me into it. I have faced certain adversities in my life. For example, within 2 or 3 years, when I was in my early 20s, I've gotten in 3 car accidents. 3 cars were total losses. And all three of the accidents were not my fault. It was just kind of like being at the wrong place at the wrong time. And that kind of really shifted my perspective in life and just made me realize that life, anything can happen in life and things can just happen instantly and it can literally change life. Thank God I came out of those accidents barely harmed and still was able to continue my own journey in life. So those are some stuff, something that actually did happen that changed my perspective in life. And can go into a little bit further more, but we'll continue on with what we're discussing about, and we can see where it leads to.
No, absolutely. I'm also very glad that you're okay and you took that negative thing that happened in your life and turned it into something positive and life changing. So, yeah, that's amazing. Like talking about myself, when I think about a positive mindset, when I think about creating healthy habits, I often get intimidated by certain things. I often think I'll be giving up my comfort, I'll be giving up my friends, and a lot. So, what are some common misconceptions, according to you, that are about developing a positive mindset, and how do we as individuals overcome them?
So I think if you're feeling a certain way about, let's say, oh, you want to be in a more positive mindset, but you think you have to, maybe you're getting some negative feedback from your friends, or you're taking some time away from hanging out with your friends. I think the first thing is to really assess what your highest values are. Is it that you do value the time that you spend with your friends? And if it is something that's very high up on your value list, then that is a way of personal development. If being around your friends is something that's very important to you, but you hear all these other people say, oh, when you're on a personal development growth, you need to be at it on your own, that's not true. What personal development is living within your highest values. It's what you value. If you value being alone, reading a book, not wanting to go out and socialize with your friends, and your friends are giving you negative feedback for that, that is their highest values being projected onto you. So if you're feeling a certain way about what they're saying and you don't like what they're saying, it's probably because your highest value is being isolated, developing yourself, opposed to going out to socialize, and your friend's highest values is hanging out with you. And there's no right or wrong, but it's just coming to an awareness, understanding like what is more important to you in your own personal life, and being able to accept it and not allow other people's highest values cloud your own values. So that's one way that I would help people overcome that, is really understand and identify what their highest values are.
I agree. And as you mentioned earlier, self-development or having a positive mindset is not as easy as reading a book and changing your life all of a sudden. As far as I understand, it's about creating minor habits along your journey. So what are some key habits that successful people have or one should incorporate in setting up for success?
So the term success, in my opinion, I think is very, very subjective to every single individual. But if you were to ask me what does success look like to me, it is being able to wake up every single day and give the self-love and the attention that I need for myself before giving anybody else love. And as long as I do that day to day, I am having a very, very successful day. So the daily disciplines that I have for myself would be taking a cold shower first thing when I get up, regardless of whatever time I get up. First thing I do is hop into the cold shower, and then I will get my supplements, and then I'll do a quick exercise routine just to get my blood flowing, just to raise my vibration, and just get my body a little bit energized. And then from there, I would go into the journaling and reflecting, and then maybe just reading a few pages of a few different books just to get some ideas. And then if it's my training day, then I will go into the gym and get some exercise in. And as long as I do that, first thing, in the morning or when I get up, I am setting myself up to have a very successful day. So regardless of whatever happens later on in the day, it won't faze me because I know I've taken care of myself and given myself the self-love that I need before going out into the world doing anything else.
That's amazing. I must say there are so many takeaways from the things that you do or that are a part of your daily habits. And I'm definitely going to try the cold shower thing. I've heard about it a lot. I cannot get myself to do it, but I'm sure there are lots of benefits of doing that.
100%.
Yeah. And like talking about me again, every time I try to build a healthy habit or let's say I start doing meditation, I would do it for a week. I would eventually give up and I'll find excuses. Let's say I have work commitments.
Mhm.
Sometimes I wake up late, so I would be not doing it at all. And then it becomes a habit of not doing something that I really wanted to do in the first place. So
Yes.
is there a piece of advice that you would want to give to individuals like me who struggle with consistency in maintaining positive habits?
So, as you're saying, it's typically easier to not do things than to do something. So, for example, if you are on a practice of doing meditation and you fall off, it's always hard to get back on track once you fall off 1 or 2 days. One thing that I would suggest is for you is schedule it in your calendar because whatever is not in your calendar, it doesn't exist. So even on your Google Calendar app, putting the non-negotiable daily disciplines that you have for yourself and having that on your calendar, even the day before you take a look at what you have coming up, you can see, okay, I scheduled this for 8 a.m., then I need to get up before 8 a.m. and just do this, even if it's blocked out for 15 minutes. And one thing I believe is if you're not staying consistent with it, maybe it's not a part of your highest values. Maybe it's something that you hear from somebody else telling you, hey, meditation is great for you. You should be doing it every single day. And you feel that you should be doing it every single day because somebody told you that. And if meditation is not something that you genuinely feel is a part of your own values and you're trying to force yourself to do it, you will not stay consistent with it. So maybe that's something to reflect on as well.
So, as far as I understand, it's about priorities, right? You need to
Yes.
prioritize things that are important to you and then take it from there.
Hmm. Like, as an example, I used to practice meditation a lot, and it used to be something I was very consistent with. But now I use it as a tool. It was funny because I had a conversation with somebody yesterday too, and he was talking to me about meditation practice. And I'm like, oh, I don't really do much meditation anymore. Every now and then, if I'm going through a certain problem, I'll sit down, cross my leg, and meditate. But then again, for me, my meditation is either going out for walks, being in the gym, or sometimes when I arrive at a destination earlier, I actually just sit down, breathe, close my eyes, and do a form of meditation without even realizing that I'm meditating. And then he pointed out to me, you're probably doing your own form of meditations and throughout the day without you even being consciously aware of it. And I think that's kind of the practice that I've developed through religiously meditating and doing breath work now into something that's a tool for me to kind of just slot into certain times of the day subconsciously.
That's a great point. I must say, it's about understanding. Like, don't give up on social protocols. Don't give up on things you have heard or seen on the internet until you have tried it for yourself. So, yeah, that's definitely something to think about. And thank you for your perspective on that, Kian. Um, and moving on to my next question, I'm really interested in knowing this personally too. I'm sure you must have a killer morning routine. So tell us a little bit about your morning routine and a day in life, especially to me. When I listen to people's morning routine, it's it's very inspirational for me. So,
Yeah, so we kind of dove into it a little bit earlier. So which is the cold shower and then getting the supplements and doing just a quick workout exercise just to get my blood flowing, and then diving into reflecting and journaling, and then it's just reading a few pages of a few books just to get some ideas, and then going to train if that's on my schedule. Whether I train right after or a little bit later, I usually try to train in the earlier in the day. I find that it's just a lot better for me. I prefer working out in the morning or before noon, opposed to working out later in the day. After that, my day in life consists of creating content, helping people with their personal development journey, with their mindset training and nutrition, and then just working on myself. So I really try to figure out exactly what it is I want to do. And that's kind of where I'm starting to find that now. And typically I break my days up into 3 different categories, which is learning, earning, and healing. So learning is where I'm elevating my knowledge. That's picking up a book, reading, watching YouTube videos or educational videos, listening to a podcast, whatever it is to make me smarter and more knowledgeable. Earning is things that's moving the bank account forward, whether that's trying to prospect for clients, close deals, whatever it is that is helping myself financially. And then healing is things that I'm doing that's for my own self-love, whether that is training, that's meditation, that's going out for a walk, hanging out with friends and socializing, doing things that's nourishing my mind, body, and soul, and that's for my overall well-being. So as long as I'm tackling the day within those 3 categories, and I break it up in my calendar, doing those things, that is basically living my dream life. That's all that I need to do each and every single day consistently, and I will feel that I'm having a very, very successful day. And then if I reflect back on it, if I did that pretty much majority of the week, I had a very successful week.
wow, it's amazing. I mean, again, a great thing to take away from your day in life or even the morning routine. Also, one more point I definitely wanted to discuss with you. And again, this is of my personal interest too. But I keep seeing this phrase called mindset mastery. I understand it fairly, I do. But what is mindset mastery according to you or in your books?
So mindset mastery to me is being on a constant quest to become better. And that is continuously finding ways to improve your mindset, build up your mental strength, your mental resilience, doing things that is continuing to progress your mindset in a positive way. So mastery, the word mastery to me, it's not a destination, but it's a journey. So if we were to simplify it, I believe mindset mastery means mindset journey. And it's just continuously getting better each and every single day, incrementally, and knowing that you're progressing with developing a better you.
And why do you think it is important to achieve mindset mastery in order to achieve or pursue your professional and personal goals?
So I think it's important in achieving it as your personal and professional success is the stronger that you are with your mind, I believe that you can then aim to achieve bigger and greater things. If you're not somebody who's really working on developing a mindset, developing a you that's being better, then you're living a life that's stagnant. And there's nothing wrong with that. There may be people who are completely happy with just going to work, turning off their minds, watching Netflix, and then repeating that each and every single day. That's great. If you're happy doing that, there's nothing completely wrong with that. It's something that is, I'm actually very envious of I can't do that. I really want to sometimes just shut off my brain and just enjoy, relax, watch a movie. But even as I'm watching a movie, I'm still reaching for my phone, trying to see like, hey, how can I connect with someone, or what do I need to do to move myself forward? And I'm constantly in that mental battle, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that as well, because that's a part of my own highest value. So if you're somebody who's not working on developing the best and stronger and a best mind, like the best mindset that you can have, you're in my opinion, you're becoming someone who's stagnant, and you might not realize that, hey, I do need to be in better shape, or I do need to be stronger mentally. I do need to be more disciplined, and you can continue to go through life drifting, which is completely fine. But on the other side, where you are somebody who's trying to achieve a better mindset, you're on the journey of personal development, and for you, personal success may mean advancing yourself so you can land executive role, or it might be somebody who just know that they can achieve more and they want to eventually build their own business, or they may want to pursue entrepreneurship. And these are different roles or different career paths that will require you to be more mentally resilient, more disciplined, and to just have even more self-confidence so you can show up as somebody who gives off a presence where this is somebody who's capable and able, and they're somebody who works on themselves. And in turn, that will lead them on a path that can lead to further professional and personal success.
That's great. And I'm sure, like, when you are on the mindset journey or having a positive mindset, it is not an easy journey to be on. And you might often face setbacks while being on the journey. So, how can one get back on track without facing that embarrassment towards yourself, or facing that disappointment, I would say?
Well, the first thing I would tell someone to do is just look in the mirror. Because when you look in the mirror and you look into the eyes of that person in the mirror, you cannot run away from your subconscious. The person you see in the mirror, just looking in his eyes, that person is going to tell you everything you hate about yourself. It's going to tell you everything you love about yourself. And what you hear in your mind about what you hate about yourself, you should be embarrassed. And it even for me, every single day I look in the mirror, if my subconscious will tell me what I need to work on. And what I need to work on is what I'm embarrassed about myself. And in my opinion, if that's the way that I feel about myself, I guarantee you everybody else that goes through the same routine will feel the exact same way. They're going to look in the mirror. Their subconscious is either going to tell them, hey, you got a little bit more fat on you, you need to lose it. Or it might be, hey, your physique is looking great, but your energy is very low. Why aren't you trying to improve yourself so you can have more energy throughout the day? Or, hey, your sex drive is not doing very good. Why aren't you working on it? There's certain things that the mirror will reveal to you. And I would just recommend anybody to take 5 minutes, maybe even before they hop in the shower, stand in front of the mirror naked and look at them and look at that person in the eye. And it will, after a few minutes, it will reveal everything that you need to know about yourself.
It's wonderful. Yeah, that's definitely a very valuable piece of advice. And continuing our conversation on mindset, do you have any book recommendation or podcast recommendations for our listeners and also for me?
Well, I think it's a book that I would always recommend is Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. It's a book about Stoicism, and I'm a big believer in Stoicism. I love the Stoic philosophy. So that's something that I think is really good. In terms of podcast, there's a gentleman named Jocko Willink, and I think he used to be like a Navy SEAL, and he talks a lot about discipline and mindset. It might be a little bit harsh, but it's very upfront and straightforward. And there's a lot of growth that you can get out of that like just listening to him speak and listening to his interview.
Thank you so much. I'll definitely check both of those out. And I will leave you with the very last question. You already shared a bit about your online coaching practice before we got started. Uh, so why should one consider working with a coach? And if one wants to work with you, where can they reach out to you?
Yeah, so working with the coach, in my opinion, is one of the best investments that you can make or anybody can make. A coach is somebody who's there to hold you accountable, to guide you to where you need to go and how to get a certain result that you're after. However, a coach, and there's this saying that you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make the horse drink the water. So a coach will be there to hold you accountable, to guide you towards the right direction. But in the end, if you're not ready for a coach, you're probably not going to do the work. But if you are ready to have a coach, then you will be ready to do the work. And as tough as it is, your coach will be there to give you guidance and hold you accountable. So for my coaching program, I have two programs. I have a one-on-one or I have a one group coaching. The group coaching starts at $300 a month. And in there, I create a custom training program for you, a custom nutrition plan for you. And then we hop on a group call once a week with everybody in the program to talk about mindset training and nutrition. The one-on-one coaching starts at $1,500 a month, and that is one-on-one with me. So we can dive further into the mindset training, nutrition, and anywhere else that you may be struggling with, and I will help you overcome those issues. For example, if you're dealing with cannabis addiction or alcohol, or you're consuming too much alcohol and you want to eliminate these vices, my program will shape you into the man or the woman to be able to eliminate those vices and become your best you. So I'm on a lifelong journey of being sober. So there's no more cannabis, no more alcohol, no more drugs. And I'm not interested in doing any of those things. And I used to be I used to have cannabis addiction. So I'm very familiar with being off the cannabis and the alcohol. And that's how I can help people with those issues get off those vices. The best way that you can reach me is actually to reach me on Instagram at Keane Yu, at KeaneYu. You can DM me. It's me responding. I'm constantly on Instagram, so it's always me. If you ever want to reach out to me, you reach out to me on Instagram, and I'll get back to you right away.
Perfect. Again, I'll put all the information in the description of this episode. But thank you so much, Keane, for all your insights. I definitely learned a lot from you in this brief conversation we had. And I'm sure this episode will be very valuable for all our listeners too. So thank you so much again for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Hey everyone, thanks a bunch for hanging out with us today. Your time is much appreciated. We have got a bunch of cool guests lined up, so make sure to hit that subscribe button to keep the good vibes rolling. Also, give us a follow on Instagram at allthingsmillennial_podcast to stay in the loop. And if you are tuning in on Apple or Spotify, please consider rating the show. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep exploring, and keep being the amazing millennial that you are. Catch you next time. Bye.